This topic is one that I am so excited about. This is the stuff that had I known, I wouldn't have struggled with chronic health issues as long as I did. This is the stuff that I cannot wait to get out to the whole world, because if people understood this stuff, I truly believe that chronic health issues, chronic pain, all of these chronic health issues that we're seeing would go down by 90 to 100%. That's my belief. I've seen people heal from so many different chronic health issues using this work, and I cannot wait to share it with you guys today. And I want to start with a little bit of a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I'm not telling you to ignore your doctor's orders. I'm teaching you how to understand your body. I'm telling you that your body's way of communicating to you is through your symptoms. And I'm going to teach you today the cause of your chronic health issues and how to become the cure, because every single one of you can heal. So I don't need a show of hands, but I want to start by asking you, how many of you guys right now feel safe? In the room you're in the world we're living in your body right now, how many of you feel safe? And I want you to just take note of that, because we're going to come back to that. Okay, what are mind-body syndromes? I talk about them all the time on Instagram. I talk about them on my New You Lives because they're crazy, crazy common. Mind-body syndromes are chronic health issues that have lasted longer than 3 months, that are stemming from nervous system dysregulation or stress. It's the same thing. Mind-body syndromes are a result of a body that is stuck in a state of perceived danger. For some reason or another, the nervous system is detecting danger. Our mind and our bodies are so closely connected. We cannot separate the two, which is why our conventional healthcare system, the traditional healthcare model, is failing so many of us, because they see the mind and the body as two separate entities. They rarely ever connect the dots to how our thoughts and emotions are impacting our physical body. So when I say mind-body syndrome, I'm talking about health issues that are influenced by your thoughts, your emotions, your mental state, your nervous system. The nervous system is what connects the mind to the body. So many people say, well, I have back pain. Is that a mind-body syndrome? The answer is yes. I'm going to show you guys how to. A lot of people want to, read a questionnaire or, go through sort of this process of elimination where you're ruling in and ruling out whether or not, is this health issue, quote, real, which they're all real anyways. None of it's in your head. Is it a mind-body syndrome, or is it something that I just need to do a detox or go see a chiropractor or have a surgery? We'll talk more about that as we get into it, but I can tell you that if you have a mind and a body and a nervous system, you cannot separate the influence that your nervous system, that your thoughts, your emotions, your mental state is having on your physical body. Cannot separate the two. Our body and our health issues are a direct reflection of who we're being, which is why so many of you here, which is why I spent the better part of a decade doing all of the things, working with the top practitioners in the world and not getting any better. In fact, I was getting worse. My body was reflecting who I was being, and who I was being was somebody who was trying desperately to heal. You're going to learn today that trying desperately to heal is registered in the brain and nervous system as danger, danger, danger. She's not okay where she is. She's not safe where she is. Our state of being is comprised of our thoughts and our emotions. Today, you're going to learn how these two things are what has caused your health issues And you're going to learn how to change these two things so that you can get better. That right there is why there are millions of people out there that are doing all of the things and not getting better. They don't understand the science behind healing. And it is so unbelievably important. So unbelievably important. So to heal, we really have to understand the way our nervous system works. We have to understand a little bit of brain science. I had no idea that by wanting my gut issues to go away, I was reinforcing them. I had no idea that avoiding things that caused my chronic pain to flare up, I was reinforcing them and inadvertently keeping my entire mind-body syndrome going. I had no idea that by waking up and getting on my phone and scrolling through Instagram and rushing through my day and not scheduling enough time to slow down and process my emotions was keeping my body stuck in a state of fight or flight, stuck in a state of threat physiology, causing my nervous system to be dysregulated, contributing to all of my chronic health issues. I had no idea that by focusing on my symptoms, trying to solve them, trying to figure them out, or just being frustrated by them, I'm so sick of dealing with it. I had no idea that that was sending a powerful danger signal to my brain and nervous system, keeping my entire mind-body syndrome going. Today, you're going to understand why. So how do we know if we have a mind-body syndrome? Certain personality traits make us more prone to nervous system dysregulation, to stress, to tension. If you have low self-esteem, if you're a perfectionist, you're going to go about your entire day and everything you do, even if you're trying your absolute hardest and feeling like you're doing nothing is going to be good enough. So you're going to be in the constant generation of shame. So everything you do, you're not measuring up, it's not good enough, that wasn't quite. Shame is going to be building and building and building in the unconscious mind, triggering the fight or flight nervous system because every single thing you do is not enough. Maybe you're a people pleaser. And you've gotten really good at abandoning yourself, neglecting yourself. Because maybe you learned at a young age that abandoning your own needs to meet the needs of other people was a really great thing to do. It's a really helpful thing to do. Maybe even got praised for it. And so you're spending a life neglecting your own needs to meet the needs of others. And you just can't figure out why you're so irritable. You just can't figure out why you have health issues. You have been repressing your own needs, neglecting your own needs, abandoning yourself for a lifetime, all of which triggers fight or flight and leads to a dysregulated nervous system. There are so many different emotions. I'm going to send you guys the list that you have the whole list of emotions. There are control freaks. There's people that put a lot of pressure on themselves. A lot of people with a religious background, Christians, Catholics, there's a lot of suppression that can happen there with our faith. I'm just going to give this to God, put a smile on my face. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to look at it. I should be more grateful. I have a roof over my head. I have food on my table. I shouldn't be feeling this way. So we suppress. Worriers, constantly worrying, constantly generating tension within the brain, the body, and the nervous system. So many different personality traits that contribute to generating more tension and more nervous system dysregulation. If your symptoms that lasted longer than 3 months and they're in the chronic category, there's a really good chance it's a mind-body syndrome. Because you have a mind and a body and a nervous system. Your nervous system is contributing to every area of your health. It is affecting every area of your health. A lot of people with mind-body syndromes have seen a lot of different healthcare and medical professionals and have unexplained symptoms. So I've had all of the testing and whatnot, like no one really knows what's going on with me. So they said I had Lyme, they said I had chronic fatigue, they said I had fibromyalgia. All of those are some of the most common mind-body symptoms. If you have one mind-body symptom, there's a really good chance you have another. Some of the most common mind-body symptoms are gut issues, skin issues, joint pain in any area of the body, back and neck are most common, headaches, depression, anxiety, fibromyalgia. I'm going to send you guys the list once again. There are tons and tons, because if your nervous system is dysregulated, it is going to contribute to almost every single health issue on the planet. Pelvic pain, really, really common. So many different ones. Tinnitus, ringing in the ears, SIBO, vertigo, gut issues. And more recently, we're seeing a lot of chronic Lyme, chronic mold, mast cell activation, autoimmune diseases. Why don't we heal? Why do we get stuck with these chronic health issues? Because we haven't healed the nervous system. We're not understanding that even though we're seeing the best practitioners, we're doing all of these protocols, we're doing everything right. Sometimes just trying is reinforcing the danger in the brain and nervous system. So in my opinion, pretty much every chronic health issue on the planet is a mind-body syndrome. There are some that are absolutely more common than others. Stress tends to show up in the gut and the shoulders, and that we've all had a stressful day and gotten a headache. It's a mind-body connection. So trying to figure out, is this mind-body? Taking all of the quizzes and reading all the questionnaires and, coming and asking, Kate, do you think this could be? Yes. If you have a nervous system and you're living on planet Earth and you're both a brain and a body, they're all connected and your nervous system is playing a big role. I really slowed down my own healing for so long going, well, is this foot pain, or do I need to get orthotics and have this surgery that this orthopedic surgeon is recommending? Almost all chronic health issues are mind-body syndromes. Why does your symptoms show up in your gut and my symptoms show up as chronic headaches and neck pain? It oftentimes has to make sense to us. Part of why we get the symptoms where we're getting them is because they have to divert our attention. A lot of why and how the brain and body work together to keep us safe is to divert our attention. Kate, here's some chronic neck pain to focus on. When over here, what was happening was so much mental and emotional pain, just this reservoir of repressed emotions that was just starting to spill over. Oftentimes, when that reservoir of repressed emotions starts to spill over because there's so much there, your body gives you a symptom. It is easier to feel physical pain and physical symptoms, as annoying as chronic health issues are, than it is to feel mental and emotional pain. Most of us have spent a lifetime running from that pain, and so it's a big deal to the brain and nervous system. The brain and nervous system believe that those repressed emotions are a huge threat. So it says here's some gut issues to stay really, really focused on because it's easier for you. Again, trying to create safety. Your body is not fighting against you. It is working for you. It is trying to help you, saying, this is going to be really painful to feel. If you look over here, focus over here. So your gut issues are no different than my neck pain. And my neck pain is no different than your friend's insomnia. And your friend's insomnia is no different than her husband's anxiety. It's just where our body chooses. And oftentimes it has to make sense. Oh, I had a car accident, so of course my neck. I had an old injury in college. I was an athlete and my back, I hurt it. It went out, it popped. It has to make sense, because part of why it's there is it's a powerful distraction. It is a powerful diversion, somehow trying to create safety. So don't get too caught up in, why is it why is it headaches and what? Hard to say. Again, analyzing it, thinking about it, solving it is just going to create more fear and focus, which is going to fuel and add to the entire syndrome. So the cause of mind-body syndromes all comes down to one thing. How do we end up with these chronic health issues? The answer is a dysregulated nervous system, chronic stress. So what is causing our nervous system to be dysregulated? First thing, certain personality types. Some of us are more prone. I call it a type T personality, tension. Some of us generate more tension than others. We're perfectionists. We put a ton of pressure on ourselves. We're goodists. We're people pleasers. We're control freaks. You're going to generate more tension in your nervous system. You're going to be more prone to chronic health issues. That's the way it goes. Now, once you learn about these tendencies and personality traits, I am very familiar with mine. I have a nice little roster in my head. It's not so much about becoming someone different or eliminating them altogether, or, recovering completely from being a perfectionist. It's about learning how to move through with those traits in a healthy manner. It's about learning how to process the repression that is happening by constantly putting so much pressure on yourself. That's you're constantly generating shame. When you're abandoning your own needs to meet everyone else's, well, that's really frustrating. You're not getting your needs met. A lot of anger builds up. If you're not aware and you're not processing that anger, it will show up in your body. So again, I will follow up with a list of all the personality traits, and you can look through there, and some of you are going to go, that's me, that's me, that's me. No wonder I'm generating so much tension in my body. No wonder I have these chronic health issues. Those are going to be some of the places that you look when you're doing the deeper work, when you're journaling. What does it feel like to be a perfectionist and nothing that you do is ever good enough? It's maddening. It's really, really frustrating. You're going to know where to go and how to do the work so that you can move your nervous system out of fight or flight. It's not about becoming, you don't have to just overcome all of these tendencies. A lot of your personality traits and tendencies were things that you learned as a child in response to the environment, the family, the home, the environment you grew up in. Maybe you were taught at a young age that you're seen as a really good kid, a really helpful person if you just neglect your needs and you show up and you put a smile on your face and you don't have any needs. So you're very valuable to that person that you're assisting now, right? It's a really great thing to do, to just suppress all of your needs. While it may have served you then, it's not serving you anymore. So over time, we learn how to process, express that anger, that frustration that builds by being that certain personality. And slowly we unbecome that. We unlearn what maybe we learned in our childhood that is no longer serving us. Hippocrates once said, it is more important to know what person the disease has than what disease the person has. Who we are says so much about what we're going to experience in life, the health issues that we're going to struggle with. We are the cause of our effect. And when we take full responsibility for ourselves, for our lives, for how we might be contributing to these issues, not that we're not doing this intentionally, we're not bad people, but our thoughts and emotions, our state of being is very often the cause of our effect, the cause of the results in our life. And once we take full responsibility, we take a really active role in our healing, that's when we can start to really make some headway and begin to heal.